Good morning, Colleen. How you doing?
Hey, Joe. I'm good. Hey, before we start, or I guess we already
Mm.
started, but can you hear my 3D printer over there?
I I can't. No, is it
Okay,
running?
good. It's running. Okay, continue on.
What are you making?
I don't know. My son just 3D prints things all the time. Okay, actually, I do know. This one is really funny. So we were in San Francisco last week
Hmm.
and we had dinner on Fisherman's Wharf, and my son got a whole crab as his dinner. And he has never had a whole crab as his dinner before. So he was very excited about this. So he saved the crab shell. He brought it from San Francisco back to San Diego. He has lacquered it like
Oh my
15
god.
times. And now he is 3D printing a frame to keep the crab shell in.
Very cool. What? That's really cool. Wait, what type of crab are we talking here?
I don't know, just like a normally crab? Blue crab?
Like
Except
a
it's not
like
blue.
a
It looks like a normal, like this big. I wish I had it. That would be good visuals
yeah.
for the YouTube portion of the show. It's just like this big, like a crab.
All right, it's like a foot and a half across with all its appendages out.
It doesn't have its legs. It's just the shell.
So the shell is that big.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
so
don't
it's a
know.
it's a,
Maybe not a
it's a
foot
big
and a
guy.
half, maybe a foot.
All right,
Um,
so it's a big one.
yes. Yes. So anyway, that's what
Fun.
he's 3D printing today.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've never had. So I've only ever had crab legs.
Yeah,
Growing
very
up on the
popular.
East Coast, like
Yep.
snow crab, queen crab legs, king crab legs, those are all like the rage on, Jersey Shore, bring a mallet, smash them open. But soft shell crabs and like the innards of the crabs, I've never been much a fan of.
Yep. So anyway, how are you?
Fun, fun.
Fun?
So you were in San Francisco.
Yes, we drove up the coast, like up the West Coast,
Hmm.
up through Big Sur around to San Francisco, spent 3 days in San Francisco, and then just hightailed it back to San Diego.
Oh, awesome. Good time?
It was great. It was very packed. We tried to do
Mm,
all the things, so it was very, very active.
yeah,
Vacation, I wouldn't really use the word vacation, um,
yeah.
but it was great. We did all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, you need the post-vacation to
Yeah,
recover from all of it.
for sure.
Yeah, I hear you there. But no travel snafus or anything. Everything was all good.
It was fine. It's just
About
like
as good as traveling with a family of five can go.
we stayed in San Simeon where Hearst Castle
Mm,
is, which I didn't even know. I'd
mm.
never heard of this before. And there is nothing there. I mean, like nothing. So, you know, the hotel, we stayed at kind of a dive hotel. Like the carpet was wet in the hotel, and you're like,
Ooh, yeah.
so the kids thought it was great.
Okay.
It rained,
Memories.
normal stuff, like normal
Yeah.
vacation stuff. Again,
Cool.
family trip, not a vacation. That's how we
Yeah,
distinguish. This was a family trip.
that's it's a good distinction. Yeah, I like that. We had similar. We were in Boston last last week. Yeah, last week we were in Boston, the four of us, and our little one is almost 2, so it's like the last time we could fly with a lap infant,
Mhm.
and we don't fly with a lap infant. We're like, if we can get him a ticket, like he's 30 whatever pounds already. The older kid's like 50 plus pounds. Like if they're gonna sleep, we need 4 seats. But tickets were like $1,000 each.
Ooh, wow.
And we booked months in advance. So we're like, you know what? We'll do the lap infant thing one more time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was the last time.
Mm.
Because oh my god, a 1 3/4 year old on your lap, trying to get him to watch, Miss Rachel or whatever during a 5.5 hour flight is not the best of times.
Yeah.
But we made it work. We had some melatonin for the older one. He passed out in my lap, and my wife took the little one in her lap for like most of the flight, which wasn't too bad, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Why Boston?
Yeah, so my wife has two of her best friends are live in like the outskirts of Boston, and her aunt lives there. So we went there, and her aunt's this like amazing host, had 20 people just for dinner that day
That's
that we were
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the kids got to run around with one of their kind of like once removed cousins or whatever, and a bunch of aunts and uncles and stuff. We got to take some time off from parenting while the old,
Nice.
younger kids played with our
Yeah.
boys. They have a Super Nintendo in the basement, which was
Mm.
a huge hit for my oldest kid. Um, that was really fun to see him playing like Super Mario and stuff that I grew up on, and me coming down and him like already be playing it. He found a Game Boy which he brought out, which was really fun.
Very
So
cool.
it was good. It was a really good time, and yeah, not a vacation. It was a family trip.
Yeah. Did you do other stuff or did you just stay in the Boston area?
No, stayed in the Boston
Oh,
area
okay.
and saw friends, saw family, and flew
Yeah.
back home. We were there for like a week. We did Kindred. Have you ever used Kindred?
Actually, I feel like I have heard about it. Tell me what it is again.
It's technically like a house swap.
Okay.
So it's like
Yes, I've heard of
Airbnb, but you
this.
don't pay.
Okay.
Um, Ideally, you're doing like a one-for-one house swap with another family,
Okay.
and you go to their house, they stay in your house, and Kindred handles all the insurance and cleaning and coordination and stuff. Or you can like rent out your house to get a night of credit for every night that
Okay.
you rent out your house. So we've been doing that for the past couple of years, built
Oh,
up a bunch of credits, and we
nice.
stayed in this Kindred apartment for free in Boston,
Wow,
essentially.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
like right in not like the heart of Boston, but just outside, like where our friends lived. And we paid, I think it was $300 total for six
Wow.
nights in like a 2-floor, 3-bedroom, kind of swanky Boston apartment because we had all the Kindred credits saved up.
Wow, that's super cool.
It was great. It was great. And
Yeah.
someone stayed in our place while we were gone, so we came back to a clean home, which was even better.
That's
Like
nice.
worth it
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And because it's not an Airbnb, they actually have oil and butter and
Stuff.
like
Yeah.
stuff to consume that isn't just like, oh, you want to make dinner? Cool, you have to buy every single spice.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we had a good time. But it's
Good.
good to be back and, back to grinding tokens again. So,
Back to grinding tokens.
yeah. How goes your work life? You took off you took out what, 2 weeks? Because we haven't
Almost
spoken
2
in
weeks.
it's
So I
been 3
was
weeks now.
yeah, almost 2 weeks. So I worked like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was off a Thursday, Friday. I
Hmm.
don't know. In the past 2 weeks, I've only worked 3 days. So this is now the real, like, first week back is this week.
Cool.
Um, let's see. Geez, I don't even know where to start. It's crazy, and it's this very interesting space where it's simultaneously super busy, and I'm super
Hmm.
busy, and I'm working all the time, but nothing is hitting in a meaningful way yet.
Hmm.
Which isn't
Interesting.
bad, right? I'm only 2 months into this. May what am I? What is this? April? I started in February, March, April. So,
Hmm.
I'm only 2 months into, like, really pursuing this AI automation business as a path. So, everything is going well, right? All the
Yeah.
signs are pointing in a positive direction, but there hasn't been any, like, super big hits yet.
Hmm. Super big hits meaning
To me, a super big
work.
hit is cold inbound. I want someone who has never heard of me, who doesn't know me, to cold inbound me and tell me they want to hire me, which is a huge
So,
ask, right?
oh
Like, that's a
yeah,
huge
yeah.
ask.
It's a good
Um,
bar to have though. But you're saying like huge wins, huge success for your business, not for like the work that you're doing for your clients.
Correct. I mean, for the
Okay.
future of to me, a big thing I'm focused on is what does the future of this business look like? Because,
Yeah.
side note, another thing that has been happening to me in a really positive way is I have been getting inquiries about being like this AI solutions engineer, which is a new job that seems to be made up. And I tell you what, for the first time, I feel like it is the perfect fit job for me.
I like that
So it's
title.
really cool to feel like, okay, there's this new made up job people want, and it
Hmm.
fits what I do perfectly. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying when I say like no big hits, like I said, for me, the measure of success will be cold inbound, people who don't know me coming in, and that has not happened yet. And again, I'm 2
Hmm.
months in, like, you can't expect anything
Uh-huh.
to work that
Uh-huh.
fast. So it's just, like, a lot of work, a lot of exploring. I'm having a lot of discovery calls with people in different industries. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
What are your I saw you've been posting on LinkedIn. I saw you back on
Mhm,
Twitter a little bit.
mhm.
Uh what are you doing to get closer to that goal of like essentially inbound strangers?
Yeah, so I've decided LinkedIn is gonna be my channel.
Yeah.
I had done it. Did you hear that?
Is the crab mount done?
The crab mount is done. Okay, so here's what I have decided because I think no, not I think, because I need to pick a channel to focus on. So I
Mhm.
dabbled
Mhm.
in making videos and YouTube.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a lot of work. It's not something I really like. So that's its own thing. For me, my channel is going to be LinkedIn. For the next
Mhm.
90 days, I am committing to going all in on LinkedIn because that's a channel that I feel like I know how it works. I feel comfortable there. And I think that's where the people I am targeting live is the professionals
Yeah.
mostly live on LinkedIn. So content is, and I tell people that come to me for marketing help, like social content is a long process. Like to start,
Mm.
I tell people like give it 6 months. I'm like, if you are going to grow, if you want to use your socials as a growth channel, it is one of the slowest growth channels. So you just have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. That's that sucks. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah.
it's so hard to hear that because you always, at least for me, the appeal of social is like something, one tweet, one post taking off and becoming
Sure.
viral. And
Sure.
it's like, oh, I could just wait till something goes viral and then I'm gonna get 100 new people or whatever. But in reality, something going viral usually just means more people seeing it, and that is just one of the many things they need to actually start giving you money.
Yeah.
And it's just like any, I mean, it's just SEO but in a different way. Like it's all a long game.
Yeah, I think socials are really a long game, but I also think since I am building a consultancy right now and not a
Mhm.
product, there has to be a lot of personal trust.
Yeah.
So I have done a little research. I know some people who have built these AI automation agencies, and I've done some research into how they built them. And in almost every case, they've started with in-person relationships.
Hmm.
So if I'm going to build a multi-million dollar AI solutions consulting agency, the way to start is, I mean, that's how you start consulting. It's warm leads. It's unlikely someone is going to come in cold and be like, "Yes, I want to spend XYZ on you," without having engaged with your content for like years.
Yeah.
So warm leads are absolutely the place to start. I think in person is the most powerful, especially now, right? Everyone is worried about, no one trusts anyone anymore because of
Yeah.
the AI content out there. So anyway, so part of my strategy here is going to more in-person events. It's putting myself out
Mhm.
there more. It's going to be
Mhm.
LinkedIn. And then it's delivering the value on the contracts that I have,
Yeah.
which is its own kind of like interesting thing because you see and you hear so much on Twitter and LinkedIn about, oh, I replaced my $2,000 a year GTM hire with AI. And it's like, I'm literally working in this space and you did not. Like, you
Yeah.
just did not, because
Nope.
all of this stuff, it helps. But I have not discovered any like life-changing workflows yet. And I think people who are actually doing this would tell me that's true, is like,
Mhm.
it depends on where the business is in their current processes, but most of this stuff is like process automation.
Process automation. Yeah. Makes sense. The like something you said there really hit home with the, it takes someone years of interacting with your content to want to pay you money.
Mhm.
I got an inbound lead yesterday, Sunday, I forgot, earlier this week, and it was like, been following your content, finally read your book, and decided it was time to reach out.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, first of all, the book came out in August, which physical stuff not that long ago. In the age of today and internet, that is decades ago,
Yeah.
essentially, right? It's like
Yeah.
April. It's almost a year old. And
Yeah.
to think that they were like, had been following me on Twitter or my newsletter or whatever for years before it was even time to send me an email, it's like, it's so true. It's so true. Like if you're going to do inbound, you can't, there's no real like, okay, crank this up, get more leads. It's just like a constant chiseling away until you finally get to where you need to go. And it resonates a lot with me because that's something just like I've been struggling with since I started my consulting business.
Mhm.
There's no way to turn up the heat really
Right.
and be like,
Except
okay, I want more leads. How do I get
y
more leads right now? Except
I was gonna say, except I think in-person events are the only way to jumpstart that. I like, this is just yeah, that's what I think. I think going
Yeah.
to in-person events, people meet you, and then when they have the problem, they think of you.
Yeah. I agree. Do you think you have to speak or be on the agenda at those events, or is it just being there and
No, I
hallway
think just
tracking?
being there, hallway tracking, and, with enough social proof that you can
Mhm.
actually do the job.
Yeah. Well, if someone was listening and trying to do the same thing right now, doesn't is going to a conference coming up soon, what would you recommend? What would you tell them to, like, solidify that? What could they do before they get to that conference if they're not speaking to try and
Yeah.
grow their network in, like, a non-sleazy way? Or
Yeah, I
what
feel
you always use the word what, without the ick? I love that.
without the ick, yeah. I feel like the way to do that is first you try and find out who is going to the
Mhm.
conference. And some conferences, most conferences, will have a shared Slack or a shared Discord. So you take the time to figure out who the people are, figure out who they work for, and figure out which people on that list that you
Mm.
really want to engage with. And then if you have a legitimate like reason, not because you're trying to sell them something, but a legitimate reason, reach out beforehand. So you reach out beforehand on LinkedIn, or if it's Discord because it's a developer conference, whatever. Like, hey, I see that you're working in this space. I'm really interested in this space. I'll be in this space too. Would love if we could like be intentional about
Mhm.
following up with those people. I like, as many people will tell you, I have literally chased people down in conference halls before. At least three people I can think of without even thinking too hard. I have seen them and I have
Yeah.
chased them down. So,
Oh, man.
it's always worked out. Like, it's never been
Yeah.
weird. They didn't see me
Yeah.
running, hopefully.
I can just I can see
You can
this
see
in
that?
my head, though, like, I'm picturing RailsConf in Portland, where we met however many years
Yeah.
ago, you, like, running down the hallway, like, catching up with, like, Robbie Russell or something,
I
being like,
literally
"Hey, the
have done that.
podcast."
Like, I am not even joking you. I've
Maybe I saw
literally
it.
done that.
Maybe I saw it and it's, like, burned in my brain.
Maybe you saw me chase someone down. So
Oh my god.
what I do is you make a list of the people you want to meet, have a
Mhm.
real not sleazy reason, like because you
Yeah.
like their podcast or because, you know, um whatever, right? Like
Mhm.
they've had a big impact on you. Anything like that. And then you are really intentional about finding them. And if you can't find them, then before the last day, you send them a DM and you're like, "Hey, I know you're here. I'm here. Can we meet for 10 minutes to say hi at coffee? Like I'm wearing this, I look like this, like
Yeah.
tomorrow morning."
Yeah. I like that.
And that's how it
Es
starts.
especially now that conferences have leaned into, we will have coffee in the
Before.
conference.
Yes,
Or
right,
before, and it's like, "I
right.
will meet you there," and not, "Hey, can I take you to coffee?" And it's like
Yeah,
this
that's weird.
whole
It's a
thing, and
whole
it's
thing,
like
right.
it's 2 hours or whatever. Like, I've had folks reach out to me and take me out for coffee at conferences, and sometimes those are the best conversations I have at a conference.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'm sitting there
You're
for
stuck.
90 minutes, and it's
You
like, I
don't
gotta get to the next, like, I wanna go to the next talk, like, this is
yeah,
great, but I gotta go. So the low pressureness of the coffee before the event starts or whatever, I really like.
yeah. Now that being said, like, with what I'm trying to do, like, I'm just starting to go to more meetups here in San Diego,
Mm,
but, I don't really know how to do that because the fundamental thing I am
what
so
industry?
stuck on yes, Joe, that is the fun and I need to just keep doing the work and hopefully it will become clear, but the fundamental thing I am stuck on is what is my industry? And
Yeah.
so this week, this is cool. So this week I actually have a discovery call with someone in the insurance business and someone in the I want to say automators, that's not the right word. Something in home services. Someone in the home services business. So I'm doing discovery calls with people in other industries, but two things I have realized is there's not going to be like a magic industry.
Mm,
I have some friends trying to do this in like I have a friend doing this in like the mortgage brokerage industry. I know someone doing this in the e-commerce industry. It's not easy for anyone.
yeah.
Like there's no like magical door where it's going to be like these guys have never heard of software and they're going to pay you a ton of money to bring
Right.
like that's not
Yeah.
happening. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know really what industry. Right now, I am doubling down on doing the work I have been hired to do. And I think I actually yesterday just changed my LinkedIn to say I build go to market automations for SaaS founders because those are the people I
Mm,
know. Um, but, I don't know. It's just like exploration and building and exploration and building and talking to people. That's the phase I'm in.
Yeah. The industry thing is tough. Um, it might never be an industry, you know? You might just be, like, doing
Yeah.
different things, but I do love being in an industry. Like, that sounds really good because you can networking is so much easier and so much just more natural. Uh, I've run my business for 6 plus years without having an industry. You know,
Yeah.
I've
That's
targeted
right.
Rails businesses,
Yeah.
and I've worked from everything from uh, a plumber management system to folks that stand up churches, like
Yeah.
all over the
All over
gambit,
the place.
down to an orgasmic meditation company, like which we should have a whole podcast about, by the way. Very interesting.
It sounds very
So like
interesting.
like all over the place, consumer, B2B, B2C, and it has both been exciting but also word of mouth is very hard because
Yeah.
the only way folks know each other is through tech.
Mhm.
And that's not as like a binding thing as both being in the, you know, painting industry or home services industry sometimes, I feel.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. So, I mean, my strategy is don't stress about it. Just keep
Mhm.
doing good work. And, it
Yeah.
really makes sense. Like for me, SaaS founders are the people I know. So, SaaS founders in the
Mhm.
50 to 5 million range. So,
Mhm.
small enough that they don't have a dedicated AI solutions expert, but big enough that they
Mhm.
have a team. I mean, that's what I'm doing with Geocodio right now. And that feels like that might be a good fit. And I'm thinking about like what I'm doing for Geocodio and some of the things I've done for them, for example, is like inbound pipeline. And that saved them a lot of time, like an inbound AI assisted pipeline. There's like the CLI and the Claude Code skills, which we're launching this week to their customers. So, but like none of those feel really, I guess the inbound pipeline is a little bit meaty. They don't feel like super meaty for me. And if you look at, so I've got them where I'm doing that, and then I've got the cyber company where I'm doing content, and then I've got
Mhm.
the other company where I'm doing the Google Ads MCP server. Problem is none of those like come together, right? It's like just this disparate things, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that.
But if you can get a single metric from each one of those,
Yeah.
an ROI metric, a leads brought in metric, a customer support request brought down from the MCP that you're building for the Geocodio's customers. Like those are what are going to bring in the stranger money
Yeah,
because
and
they're like
that's
that's the
yes.
social proof that you need that isn't referrals
Yeah,
and
and
is
that's what I need.
industry agnostic.
Yeah, is I need metrics. And that's what we really
Yeah.
don't have because some of this stuff is kind of fuzzy. And this is something
Yeah.
I'm working with my sales coach on that he always does in like the first call is he always makes the person say how long they're spending on the thing. He's like, "How many
Mm,
people have to touch this thing? How long do
I
the
like
people
that.
spend on it? How much do you pay them?" And then he can put a number and I need to go back to these other companies
Love
and be
that.
like let's put a number on this. Like what is the actual cost savings
Hmm.
that we can show here. So that's probably actually that's good that you brought that up because I knew that, but it wasn't like at the forefront of my brain. So I need to go
Yeah.
back and make sure I'm getting those numbers.
Yeah. I love that. Uh, Speaking of, how have you been dealing with the whole
Oh,
Anthropic
I know
and
what you're gonna say. I know. Go ahead, say it for people who don't know what you're gonna say.
that Easter was this weekend? No, I'm just
What?
kidding.
That's not what you're supposed to say, Joe.
How do you feel
Wrong.
about the whole Anthropic cutting down on kind of external use? Actually, honestly, explain it to me because I use Claude Code in Claude Code with a max subscription. I sometimes use Claude on the web and I sometimes use it in my pocket to ask it silly questions. That I've never opened an OpenClaw. I shut down ChatGPT like who knows how long ago at this point. Tell me what is going on with Anthropic and for the listeners who have not, aren't knee deep in this stuff.
Okay, so here's what happened. Previously, many people were using their Claude Max subscriptions, which remember is $100 or $200 a month for basically what feels like unlimited tokens in their OpenClaw agents. And then they were sending their They were using their OpenClaw to do all kinds of automated, repeatable processes. For example, I can give you the two easy examples that I do. Like my SEO content pipeline, I do it in OpenClaw. And what it
Mm,
does is it pulls Google Search Console data, it pulls SERP data, it makes a recommendation, and it writes the content, and it publishes the content to my blog. So I have this automated content publishing pipeline that I don't have to touch. It's amazing.
mhm,
And I have set this up now for I've set this up for two different people on OpenClaw.
mhm.
The problem is on like 3 days ago, Anthropic came out officially saying you can't use your Claude Max subscription on third-party harnesses, which include things like OpenClaw.
Okay, so
Now,
you no longer have access to subsidized tokens anymore.
basically, so you can pay for API credits, but let me tell
Okay.
you, as someone who used to pay for I used to pay for API credits, it is crazy expensive to pay for API credits. Like it's just
Yeah.
crazy expensive. Like you're looking at I was spending $50 a day when I was paying for API credits. It's unsustainable.
Yeah,
So
it's a
this
big
is very
difference.
sad for me
Mhm,
because Opus writes the best content. Like
mhm.
full stop. I mean, the initial thing people are like, well, downgrade to Sonnet. The rest of them, I don't want to say the content is trash, but the content is trash. Like once you've used Opus content, you
Yeah,
really don't want to go back.
that's fine.
Um, so this is a huge problem for me because I have a customer that I
Uh,
put on OpenClaw with Claude Code, and now they can't use it. And I have not figured out a good replacement yet. Because what this does, like I've been playing around with, can I do this in cowork? Can I do this with, you have schedule where it'll run prompts on a schedule. But like my OpenClaw does all this other stuff, like pulling the Google Search Console data. I have these custom scripts because it also pulls
yeah,
keyword data from keywords everywhere. And like, I'm
yeah.
real mad.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
but we had talked about like deterministic stuff versus indeterministic stuff and
Yeah,
only letting the AI do the indeterministic stuff. So like
correct.
having literally a cron job that runs every day or week that pulls your data from from ads and analytics and all that stuff, and then packages it into a file, and then having Claude only at that point interject and analyze it and
Right,
spit it out to something, and then only having Claude at that point write the content, and then using another script that gets run to upload it and publish it or whatever.
right.
Is that what you're doing, or are you having Claude like or your OpenClaw orchestrate all of it so everything is all of your tokens are running through AI all the time?
Yeah, so some of mine are scripts. So like pulling the Google Search Console data is a script, but all the analysis is AI. And then the pipeline like OpenCloud, I just told it to set up the pipeline and it did that. So I think
Yeah,
that's all using tokens. And then of course
yeah,
the analysis is using tokens and the content is all token based as well.
yeah. I'd be curious to send OpenClaw like in on itself and essentially say how much of this is running through you when you kick off these scripts.
Yeah.
Like, are you running the script as you, or are you like, is the script running totally on its own, like cron job, and then waking up Claude and saying, "Here's the analysis," or do the analysis?
Yeah. How much is it? Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Because I've noticed something was going on with my Claude account a few days ago, and I had to upgrade to the 20x plan,
Hmm.
and then got charged the wrong amount, and I have like a ticket
Eek.
open with them. It's very weird.
Huh.
Uh, but I was running a script through Claude, like saying run this script, and my I was like watching my usage go up.
Hmm.
And then I tried running it with just like bang and then executing the script, and the usage went tick, like just a tiny bit
Yeah,
of
just a
amount.
tiny bit.
So there's this like huge amount of data that Claude is tokens that Claude is using, even just while the script runs, even if it's not like doing anything with it, from my experience. Um,
Yes, I think
food
that's
for thought.
probably correct.
Food for
Yeah, that's
thought.
probably
And
correct.
like
But like for me, it's really frustrating from a client perspective because before it was like flat, like it was a flat
free.
rate, right? So now,
Yeah.
even like now, when they're like coming to me, I mean, literally, they just emailed me And they're like,
Mhm.
well, how much is this going to cost? I'm like, well, I don't know anymore. Like, that's
Yeah,
not great
that's hard.
news. So it's just been frustrating across the board because it's not just my content pipeline. So I have this
Mhm.
LinkedIn pipeline, which takes this podcast, transcribes the podcast, pulls in creator data from Apify API, like pulls in I have my voice, right? Pulls in my performing LinkedIn and starts writing LinkedIn posts for me. So that was also using Opus. So,
Well, on that
just
note, I'm
random
already
hosting.
transcribing this, so I should probably just send you that file.
Yeah, right? Save
Save you
me a
some
step.
tokens. I'm
Yeah,
letting
save me some tokens.
whatever this is, Riverside, use their AI to transcribe this. So I can send you the
Yeah.
SRT file and save you a couple tokens, but
But it'll
doesn't
just
solve the problem.
right, like it doesn't solve the problem. So hopefully by the time we talk next week, I will have this problem solved. But at this very moment, it is sad face for me. My LinkedIn
Yeah.
agent is broken. It's literally just
Mm,
broken. Like it won't work. It
yeah.
just throws me 404s. Um, so I've been doing it in Claude Code, which took forever. Anyway, that's the end of my
Yeah.
sob
I
story
saw
about subsidized tokens.
I know, right? I saw someone post about because of this, the next like 5 to 20 years of software development, which, obviously grain of salt, is going to be about optimizing tokens more than anything
Yeah.
else. Like
Yeah.
optimizing token usage. Like when are you switching over to Sonnet to do the weird like
Yes.
the slow crappy doesn't matter how the quality comes out stuff? When are
Yeah.
you using a local model? Because the speed actually doesn't matter at all. And it's like now all of the engineering effort is going into like just managing tokens to make sure OpenClaw works,
Yeah.
essentially. And
I believe
it's
it.
just like, that's not a
Yeah.
position I want to be in. I don't want to worry about that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, so that's all my stuff. What's going on with you? And
Yeah, so I was in Boston last week. Like I said, didn't work very much. Tried to record a podcast with you, but
we
couldn't
did.
find a quiet space away from the boys, unfortunately. So we had to bail on that. Um, Back this week and hit the ground running. Like two subscribers to Ruby Native over the weekend. Yeah.
Yay, that's great.
And
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. And these the exciting things about these is that I switched to annual billing. I forgot if we
Okay.
talked about it on the pod, but I switched.
We didn't, but you had told me you were going to do that.
Okay, so Ruby Native used to be a monthly subscription, and then I got a lot of pushback on like, well, if Ruby Native goes down, so Ruby Native is a way to get your Rails website into the App Store. You just like click a couple buttons, add a YAML file, and you can publish your Rails app as an iOS app in like an afternoon. And people were very worried that if I got hit by a bus and Ruby Native goes down, like they're just screwed. They can't update
Got
their
it.
app anymore. The pipeline is broken, etc., which is totally valid. So I was like, okay, I will give you access to the source code if you are a subscriber, which is great. They then can just like take the code themselves and build
Yeah.
their own pipeline and like do it themselves. But then if someone just like subscribes for a month and gets the source code, all of a sudden they have way more value for $29.
Right. Right.
And
Agree.
I know this because I have done subscriptions for source code, and like it's like the most common thing for developers to do is subscribe for a month,
Get
get
the
what they
source
need,
code.
and cash out. And it's like,
Sure.
so I switched to annual billing with source code access now, which I think is a way better approach for everyone. Like if you have an app in the App Store, you're not going month to month. This is a long haul thing for you.
Yeah.
You want
Right.
this in the App Store for a
Right.
while.
For a
So annual
while.
shouldn't matter.
Yes.
It's actually
Agree.
cheaper for everyone. So I moved to annual billing and gave access to the source code, which has been perceptive, whatever it's called, has been very good.
Okay.
But this weekend, I got my first 2 paying subscribers on the full annual plan with no discount.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
$299 a year. uh, 2 folks, both that I was talking to already, like through like support with it or like asking questions about it or followed up from a newsletter. So not totally strangers, but also people that I don't know what their face looks like. Like I've never met them. I've never talked to them on the phone. They've been Twitter back and forth. So feels like got some
That's
legs.
great. Yeah.
Feels like I have some legs. I had Corey Haynes's marketing skills get in there and redesign my homepage, which was really
Nice.
cool.
Very good.
Um, if you go to rubynative like .com right now, on the home screen is this really cool like sliding animation of the different apps that have been published with Ruby Native to
Oh,
show what
cool.
is
Yeah.
possible. There's now demos, like full on like 30-second video demos for all the different things you can do with it. And what will be like my white paper, the white paper is supposed to go to test flight this week.
Nice.
And uh I don't want to say who that is in case something falls through the cracks, but like when they
Yeah.
launch, it is going to be really awesome because it is a well-known and very celebrated company on in this space right now.
Nice.
So very excited about that, and have been just like cranking out features for them essentially as they drive the development of this over the past couple of weeks, because they are not using turbo, they're using inertia,
Oh, okay.
which has been really
Cool.
fun. So I'm in there
Yeah.
making like inertia props and
Yeah.
React and Vue components that hook into all of this, things that I never would have tackled if I didn't have this customer.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool because I think that inertia and React is like the future of Rails, as much as I
Been
don't want.
saying. I've been saying, and you've been like, no. And I've been like, Joe,
I know, I think you're right. I really think
it
you're
is the
right.
freaking future.
Just the React
Oh,
ecosystem of how many front end tools, or not tools, but components there are, makes Turbo just and Simulus just like so not exciting anymore.
yeah.
So leaning into that really heavily and being like, okay, you're using inertia, cool. Import Ruby native slash inertia or import Ruby
Yeah.
native slash React, and you now have access to all of these components that you can, like, there's now a component called native navbar, and you put that in your HTML
Yeah.
as a div or as a
Okay.
whatever JSX, and it renders a native navigation bar in your app, like iOS, Liquid Glass,
Very
all
cool.
that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really cool. And
Yeah.
there's one for a tab bar, there's one for push notifications. Like I'm building out all of these features, native buttons, essentially for inertia apps.
That's awesome.
And
Yep.
it's like it looks really good. It looks
It looks
really
good.
good. Like the app looks native. It scrolls, the web view scrolls under the liquid glass at the top of the screen. It scrolls under the tab bar. Um yeah, push notification, like all these native features work. So I'm feeling really good. Public roadmap is out finally, also
Okay.
with what's coming next. But man, there is so much more to do.
Yeah.
There is just so much more I could build into this to
You
make it
mean on the
even
product
better.
side, not the marketing side?
Well, I haven't really started the marketing,
I,
to
I
be
was just gonna
honest.
say. I was just. I mean, I was gonna bring that up, but
I know.
there's
Okay,
so
here's
much
my
more you can
plan.
do on the. Okay, tell me your plan because I want
Here's
to
my
talk
plan.
about the marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, I wrote an article that was like, here's the thinking behind Ruby Native. It's why I built it. It's cool. It's from a developer standpoint, like it's awesome. It does all these cool things. That was published. That got good reception. But it didn't go like even quasi viral in this space that I wanted it to.
Okay.
So a good piece to have out there, good content, but not like a big leader of sales, which was expected.
Right.
Um, Product wise, I'm building in-app purchases,
Huge. Yep.
which is huge, and that will actually unlock a $9.99 a year plan. So if you
What does
want to
that
do
mean?
in-app purchase, so like it's going to be $2.99 a year for to build an app, or
Oh, I thought you meant
9.99.
9.99. I was like, what are you selling for $10? That's a terrible
No,
idea. Okay, got you.
$1,000
$1,000.
a
Yes, way
year
better. Yes.
for in-app purchases, because that
Okay.
means that app is making money. You can
Sure.
pay me
You want
more.
to help everyone wins. If you make money,
Yeah,
they make money, you make money. Yes.
exactly. And I'm not taking a cut out of it, so you
Yeah.
save the rev. Anyway, um, so I want to do that. That's like the next big feature. I think that
Okay.
once I'm there,
Hmm.
you know, of course, I will be feature complete for V1.
Okay.
That will be like, okay, this has everything you need in it to launch almost any sort of Rails app into the App Store today.
Yeah.
So I want to do in-app purchases, and I'm hoping to do in-app purchases in the next like day or two. I'm
Okay.
halfway there. I just got all the odds and ends to fix out. Once that is done, the marketing strategy is a demo video.
Yes.
And I think that a demo video goes really well with like how I like to build things, what developers want to see, and what I think will
Yes.
be the most impactful. There's some really cool stuff where like you spin up your Rails server, you do a bundle exec Ruby native, and it shows that QR code that you scan with your phone, and you see your app on your phone, like all of these really cool things. And I want to do a demo of that, and then maybe another couple of like 2-minute videos on each of the features
Perfect. Yep.
individually. So like one for inertia, one for turbo, one for hotwire native. And once I have those, I think it's like a promote the video as the main content, but also write something about it
Yeah.
as like
Agree.
the official launch.
Okay.
And from there, it's really figuring out like, am I launching with a discount code? Am I
Uh-huh.
launching to my newsletter subscribers only with a discount code? Am I saying subscribe to the newsletter to get the discount
Yes,
code?
different
And
codes,
that's
right.
like, it's all in the weeds, of course, but um, I'm trying to do that all this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're gonna get all
I'm
that set
hoping
up
by the
next
next
this
time
week.
we talk, I
Okay.
will have this as officially launched as I could officially launch it.
Okay, great.
Um, which has pushed me for a pretty hard deadline, but I my client work is like a little light this week, which lines
Okay.
up well.
Okay. Okay, that sounds
Okay,
good.
you're up. Rip it apart. What do I do?
Yeah, well, no, that's a good start. And I think that getting all of that done this week would be tremendous. And then next
Hmm.
week we can talk about more marketing strategies
Yeah.
on what we think would fit. I mean, you've got developer-led marketing, founder-led marketing. Those are both really good. You have a good following on Twitter, although engagement on Twitter has been low or X has been weird. All the normal developer-y things, since this is a product for developers, I think is good.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I really like I don't know, like I just like trying to do targeted outreach too, which we've talked
Mm,
about
yeah.
before. But once you get this big case study in there, that's going to be the real social proof I think you'll need to start doing any kind
Yeah.
of targeted outreach.
Yeah. I think the case study is going to be huge. I'm looking right now. My pinned tweet, right,
Mhm.
on Twitter,
Mhm.
16,000 views, which like fine,
Okay, let me look.
not bad, but
Okay.
136 likes. Like the ratios are so crazy right now. I feel that numbers, like the views numbers, are just so low, even for what I think is a post that is good and like people
Yeah.
are receptive of,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like I just not getting the volume. And I don't know if that's like the wrong way to think about it, but I don't know.
Well, once we have, I mean, okay, so you have where are these people coming from, right? Like, so I think that's a good thing to start with. And you have a handful of customers now, right? So we'll do an analysis on where these people are coming from, how they
Mhm.
found you, where they
Mhm.
were in the buying journey when they
Yeah.
found you. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we should go ahead and stick with the plan and we should continue to brainstorm next week
Yeah.
on how to get the word out there about this.
Yeah, sounds good. I want to record the video.
Hmm.
I want to write the official launch post, and yeah, that's and oh, and in-app purchases. Those are the 3 big ones, which are very
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, yeah, those are really big. Yeah, I just don't feel like X is working like it used to because I'm looking at your timeline and you've been
Yeah,
doing a really good job of building in public and you have like no engagement on this stuff,
I know.
which is
I know.
really like weird to me. Um
Yeah,
I don't
it's weird.
know. I think the algorithm is weird or it's just not the platform it used to be in terms of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like if I get 100 clicks on something, it's like amazing, you know?
Mm, yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, we'll get you on, we can do hacker news and all of that. And we need to think
Yeah.
about like who, uh-oh, I think my headphones are, oh no, they're fine. Who's gonna, like, who is buying it? Is the senior developer buying it? Is the CEO buying it? Like we had talked a little bit about this with your consulting, but like who are we
Yeah,
actually targeting with this?
I know. And that's a really good question. I think that that has it's kind of wishy-washy right now.
Yeah. So I think that's like as we get more people in, we can figure out, but like who are we targeting? Who is buying it? Where like you have to hit them at a really specific time too, right? Where they're like, I should have this. Like, what kind of intent signals are people getting where they're like, now is the time to put
Mhm.
something in the iOS app store?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. It's a good point. Um, good content for next week.
Yeah, think about that though, especially with the current people you have, and I will
Yeah,
think about it too.
we'll do.
Um, yeah,
All right, so I'm working on in-app purchases. I'm getting some videos recorded, and I'm hopefully writing
that's a lot.
some sort. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that and the launch article, but I do want once in-app purchases are done, I want to have like a showcase video, essentially a launch video, and a couple smaller ones of just like features because I think that
Okay.
those are going to go a
Yeah,
long way.
yeah, okay, that sounds good. I am on board with that.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Should we call it?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you for listening, everyone. If you want more on this, you can check out nopermission.fm. Our email addresses are there if you want to shoot us an email or get on a wait list for anything we're building. And we will catch you next week. Bye, Colleen.
Bye. Bye.